Mhm. Okay, I'm online.
Music. I wish I could.
You want like to? Come on. Just have to wash your hands. Okay, everybody. Blessed rise. Ah, whew. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chant Day. We are here on Tuesday, the Sabbath day. This is the Ethiopian Sabbath day of Tuesday. We are here live, actually, at about 5:30. It's early. Some places it's 4:30. Some places it's 5:30. So we are here at the 5:30 hour, and I'm thankful that we could be here chanting the psalm. Some of you who come in, this is the time when we give thanks and we share our love and kindness and our testimony, really, of how righteousness rules within our lives. So it's very important that we gather together and we give thanks to that higher power. So I wanted to start. Hi, everybody. Hi, greetings of light and love and kindness. Um, let's be kind and nice to each other as we come on to this live. Um, welcome, everybody, as we come on to chant a psalm a day. Please refrain from negative words. The word no is a negative word, so if you use that, that's going to be cause for timeout. So as we look at the psalm today, I was very pleased by when I got up and I saw the psalm today. It is Psalm 61. And Psalm 61 is titled, Lead Me to the Rock. Lead me to the rock. What do you all think that means, lead me to the rock? Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that and see what that means in its entirety. What does leading me to the rock means? So when we look at that, when we look at the word lead, lead is such a powerful word when you look at it. Lead I and I to the rock. So when we talk about that rock, or we talk about leading, we're being guided, right? And it's interesting, the word today is guidance, which I'm going to get to soon. Um, where we want a leader, we want leadership that is going to take us to a solid place. That's what a rock is, something solid, right? You solid like a rock, right? Yeah. So that is going to take us to that righteousness, that goodness, that mercy, that love is going to take us to that place of safety that is solid. It's a fortress. And that fortress gives a that fortress is an advocate. It's like advocating on our behalf for strength, safety, to be able to go through long suffering and come out, a champion, victorious. This is the victory that we have, and that victory that we have is coming from that righteous place. That righteousness within us comes out, and it gives a harmonic pattern, this pattern of harmony that we travel with in our lives. So those of you who are listening to this live and that's tuning in, be aware that your own thoughts, the processes of your thoughts, they manifest into your words. And your words are put into works. Okay, so there is a stepping stone to this. And in that stepping stone, you have an advocate that you're going to be okay as you journey in your life. So in Psalm 61, we have 8 verses. 8 verses. Not that long today. 8 verses. And we're looking at the first verse, verse 1. Listen to I cry, O righteousness. Listen to I cry. Listen to the words of I mouth and the meditation of I heart, that it's acceptable in the sight of what is righteous. From the end of the earth I call to righteousness. When I heart is faint, lead I to the rock that is higher than I. For righteousness has been a safety, a strong tower against the wrong of the enemy. So let's unpack verse 1, 2, and 3. And when we unpack this, we're listening to the words and we're uplifting the word. So when we're talking about listen to my words of righteousness that I speak to God. That's prayer. I'm not taking anything out of the word prayer. I am actually uplifting that word. Now, some people have this ideology that it's the intention behind the word that is the power. It's the intention, the person's intention behind it. And that's fine if you want to think that way. But when we listen to words, words have vibrations. And these vibrations are sounding off. These vibrations, some may say the intention behind the word, like you can speak the word love in different intentions. But the word is still love. And that vibration of that word is echoing. And it is echoing, I feel, without that intention behind it. The intention is pushing it, but it's still vibrating that energy of that word. So we have to really look at, let me turn this off. We have to really look at how that really is defined with us. Okay, how that's defined. So in this psalm, those of you who are up with me, it's early. It's only about half hour after 5, and I usually go to bed early, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And when I go to rest at 7, I'm up at 5, sometimes earlier than that. Sometimes earlier than that. So I go to bed early. And when when we get our rest, we have to get our rest. Someone yesterday said, I said, how did you sleep? They said, I'm still sleepy. Well, you're up all, you're not giving yourself enough rest. You have to force yourself to lay down, close your eyes, and go to rest. Black out the distractions and go to rest. Hi, Green Diesel. Greetings from the UK. Blessed rise, blessed rise, blessed rise. Greetings from the South UK. Oh, wow. Blessed that the weather is good there. It is dark here, as you can see from outside. Yeah, dark outside. So that's how it goes. Let me fix this up here. Okay, so we're looking today, Green Diesel and everyone. Yep, blessed full moon. We are at the fullness of the full moon today. Oh my goodness. I like the word full. So you've come into your fullness during this full moon. What fullness are you going? And on the full moon, I usually create a painting. I don't know what it's going to be, but I have my easel. Okay, I have my brushes, my brushes, and I have my paints. So we're going to open this and we're going to get busy with that. But before we do that, we're going to get into the psalm. Okay, I have on my brushes, as you can see. Yep. So that is, see. Okay, doke. The Bible verse of the day just came in. It just came in on my phone, and I'm going to read it now. And the verse of the day is coming from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. And Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1, follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children. So following God's example is about truth, telling the truth. No matter how it may hurt someone, telling the truth. So following God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children. So what does that mean, that verse of the day and this Psalm 61? What does it all mean? When we're looking at following, we're looking at lead. It said the Psalm 61, lead I and I. Ephesians 5 is talking about following the example of righteousness. So we have follow and we have lead, right? We're being led. We are followers of righteousness. We're followers of truth. We're followers of humility. We're followers of honesty and integrity. We're followers of goodness and mercy. We're followers of long suffering. So when we find ourselves alone, depressed, in a despair, we hold on to righteousness. We hold on to what's inside of ourselves. We don't go outside of ourselves to find that completion. That's dangerous. And it's dangerous because it shows that we are followers of our own desires. We follow our own wants. We follow our own flesh, right? Satisfying that physical flesh with something from the outside coming into us. So when you're in a relationship with God and you're following the example of righteousness, you're following an example of God doing the right thing, you're going to be children that are loved. You're loved. And even though those that are not following the example of God, they're still loved because they have the breath of life. They're being given the breath of life because that could be taken away an instant, right? Literally. I've seen it. My dad was good one night before, and then in the rise, he collapsed and passed away, you know. So we have to be able to discern, just like Jonah talks about, we have to be able to discern, and Micah, in the book of Micah, talks about it too, right from wrong. Right from wrong. And when we do that, we're able to be led and we're able to follow that one example. We're not being tossed and turned and thrown about, right? We are following the example of God, of righteousness and mercy and love. Therefore, as dearly loved children, we are coming into that knowledge that we are one with that. That is the building block of relationship with God, with righteousness, with with Jehovah. However you want to call that, that is your personal relationship. So when we hear the psalm today, okay, Psalm 61, listen, we unpacked Psalm 61, verse 1, 2, and 3, okay, that one that we are following the example, we are following righteousness's example. Therefore, we are one with that righteousness because we follow that example. And we're going to be strengthened. We're going to be given that safety against the enemy. So that tower of strength is coming from that righteousness, following that righteousness, mercy, compassion, love, and kindness. So verse 4 and 5, let I dwell in righteousness' tent all the time. That's where I want to dwell, in that tent of righteousness. Let I take safety in the shelter of the wings of righteousness, Selah. For righteousness, oh, have listened to I vows, and have given I the heritage of those that fear righteousness is name. Prolong the life of the king. May the years of I endure to all generations. And may that righteousness be enthroned for all time to come before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over. Okay? So will I ever chant Isis to the name of righteousness as I perform I vows day after day. So in the long suffering, you're performing your vows to righteousness. Selah and Selah again. So that was the psalm translated into words of liberation. Psalm 61, leading I to the rock, and the verse following the example of righteousness. So we are being led and we are following. So we have to be examples. We have to be role models as we are following the example of righteousness. We are becoming leaders and role models, and we are examples of that righteousness. Okay, we are that. We have to embody that and embrace it to the fullness. Okay. So we look at the psalm and we look at the verse of the day as relating to each other. Ephesians 5:1. We are to follow the example of the Most High. Psalm 61. We are to surrender to this rock, to this fortress of safety, of righteousness, of compassion. We must be led by that, right? We should be led by that. So we give thanks in that we know that we're going to come out of any adversity successfully because we are led by that righteousness. Okay. So let's look at now, we did the Psalm 61, we did the verse. I want to tap in now to the word of the day, that is guidance. Guidance is the word today, guidance. So we have the Psalm 61 talking about leading I, the verse following the example, and then the word guiding. Heeding divine guidance strengthens I living a righteous life. So heeding that divine guidance strengthens I to live a righteous life. So when I feel pulled in too many directions, when my inner resources feel stretched to capacity, when I struggle to see my way forward from a trying situation, I turn within to listen to my guidance. Feeling divinely guided, perceiving righteous life beyond a physical one, trusting that the presence and power of righteousness is in and through all things, are a comfort and strength. So I guidance is an anchor and a light. I and I guidance is the voice I and I listen to and the knowledge I and I trust. Heeding the guidance within gives I and I strength to put I and I righteous life ahead of worldly concerns. Okay? When I do this, I am calm and poised, unperturbed by shifting circumstance and unsettling developments. I am divinely guided to I and I highest good. Okay? So when we are unperturbed by shifting circumstances and unsettling developments, you are being divinely guided by your highest good. Okay? And Isaiah 58, verse 11 mentions this. Okay? Isaiah mentions this. And speaks, the Lord will guide you always and satisfy your needs in parched places, making your bones strong. Okay? So you're going to be guided all the time. You're going to be satisfied. Your needs are going to be satisfied and met, especially in places where there's no satisfaction. You're going to be satisfied and your bones are going to be made strong. And Isaiah 58 gives us that assurance and gives us the ideology and the narrative that we are guided once we follow the example of righteousness of God from Ephesians 5:1. And then we see Psalm 61 leading I and I to the rock, okay? And Ephesians following the example of what righteousness is. And then the word guidance, looking at righteousness, is that guide that's always going to satisfy and strengthen. Okay? It's going to satisfy your irids, your righteousness, and your physical being with satisfaction, with, guidance, that guidance. So some relationships are not good, some relationships are good, but some relationships are not meant to be. You may want them, you may want it, but some are not meant to be. Some relationships are meant to have a beginning and then have an end. And when we look at the psalm today, guidance, following the example of the Most High, and being led by righteousness is doesn't end. It doesn't end. Okay, it's according to Isaiah, it's always going to be. Okay, people may come and people may go. I always say that on this channel. However, righteousness is always going to be. It's a present help, a present strength, rather. So it's always going to be. Righteousness is a fuel that is going to ignite all of the attributes of the Most High, all of them. So we see guidance as our word today, and Isaiah 58 verse 11 supporting that word guidance, and trusting that the presence and power of righteousness is in and through all things, and is a comfort and strength. So when we talk about the power of God, we're talking about the power of that righteousness. And all things are working together for our good. All of it. So when we see divorce happening, breakups. It's a part of life. When you're in a relationship, you don't think that that's going to happen to yours. And when it does, it it brings you to the reality that nothing on this earth is going to be forever. The only thing that's going to stay for all time is righteousness and mercy and kindness and love. That is going to be there. It may not come from the person you may want it to come from, but it's going to be there. And you are going to receive it in abundance. So I give thanks for the word today, guidance, and this Psalm today, 61, righteousness leading I to the rock, and the verse of the day, Ephesians 5:1. I also want to say thank you to the lady that gave me this book yesterday as I am grieving for my dad. There's my son. This is a prayer map for the grieving heart, and this is like $8 for this book, but she gave this to me as a journal. Smell good. My son made French breakfast, French toast. So this, it has, you can write daily daily notes in it. So this was very nice of her. When I told her that my dad passed, she gave me this. I might just send it to my sister, and then I purchased this one. This is grief therapy, and it has one for every day, and there's pictures in it. But for the first day, for number one, it says, respect the power of grief. Know that it can affect you physiologically, physically, and righteously in intense and sometimes surprising ways. Stay gentle with yourself. And then the other one says, be open to the pain of your broken heart. God and caring people will enter through its brokenness. Remain open to the hurt. You may think it's easier to suppress the pain or avoid it with distractions and busyness, but eventually your emotions will surface. Grief will demand your attention. Cry. Your tears testify to your love, and tears that spring from love help bring healing and renewal. Let your tears express the harsh reality of your loss, and let them begin to wash away the sadness and pain. Stay connected to others. You need their presence, their support, their concern, their listening, their hugs. You need not be alone in your grief. And that's why I brought my son with me, because I've been alone for some time. And having my son here with me is part of what this is, number 5. Number 6, give yourself time to grieve. It may take several years just to accept the finality of a loss, that someone is gone forever, and even more to work through your emotion. Oh, this is hard. And my dad came to me. Well, I came to him, and he was like, "I'm not gone. I'm still here." And I was like, "But what are we gonna tell everybody, Daddy, that you're still alive?" So I'm dealing with it. Grieve in your own way. The pattern of your grief is unique, shaped by your particular relationship, specific circumstances, and distinctive temperament. Ignore others' attempts to tell you how to feel or how long to feel. So, expect to experience different stages in your grieving: shock, numbness, where you don't feel anything, denial, depression, confusion, fear, anger, bitterness, guilt, regret, acceptance, hope. They may come in any order and any number of times. Forgive yourself for being angry or disappointed with others, including the one who left you, who passed away, for being powerless to have prevented the loss, for everything you wish you had or hadn't done. Your loss is not God's punishment or God's attempt to test you. Know that God shares the hurt in your heart and wants to lead you to new hope and love. Know that God grieves with you. So we talk about leading in Psalm 61, leading, and we have to surrender to that. I'm surrendering to being led by that righteousness, that new love, that new tranquility, that new harmony, that knowing that God grieves with me, along with me, and feels that pain as well. So this is grief therapy. Okay, it's a really great little book that I found yesterday. Let yourself feel good again. Laugh with friends. Have fun. Living your life to the full is not betrayal of memory. Your loved one would want only the best for you. That's number 27. And number 28. There may be a small place within you that remains hollow. Value it. This quiet, abiding feeling may be one of God's ways of sustaining that connection to your precious loved one. So that hollow feeling, value it. It's, that quiet, abiding feeling may be one that the Most High has ways of sustaining that link, that relationship to the loved one that is no longer there. Your grieving is among the most sacred and the most human things you will ever do. It will plummet you into the mystery of life and death and resurrection. Honor it. So this I got yesterday, grief therapy, part of grieving. And then this one I got, grieving the loss of someone you love. Um, and Jeremiah says, you can't heal a wound by speaking it's not there. Acknowledging that, forgiving ourselves, why we're asking. So this grieving the loss of someone you love, I might give this one away. Um, and these are daily meditations to help you through the process. You may have anger. You may not know what's going on, trying to keep up, regrets, why weep, you know, and then, slow and steady wins the race, being real. So this giving sorrow words, this is another good book that I got yesterday. Really good. Um, in the Walking with the Savior, Max Lucado, for September 17th, the happy full moon, everyone. Happy full moon. Blessed greetings. Blessed greetings of love and kindness to the Most High daily. Thank you so much, El Sue, and everyone that's been listening. The word today, coming from Walking with the Savior, is September 17th, the full moon. Keep I and I close to righteousness. And it's from Psalm 5:11. Let everyone who trusts in the Most High be happy. Let them chant glad songs all the time. Protect ones that love righteousness and that are happy because of righteousness. Heavenly Father, Blessed Mother, may the name of righteousness be adulated and held up high. May I and I see the joy that is before I and I. Would righteousness pull back the eternal curtain and give I and I a glimpse into the ever firsting? Would righteousness listen to the secret yearnings of I and I hearts? Will righteousness keep I and I close to this day, to righteousness for this day? So we're keeping, and those are rhetorical questions like yes, 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 yes. Righteousness is going to keep you in a good place. So Max Lucado commented on that Psalm 5, verse 11. Let everyone that trusts in goodness and mercy be happy. So we may get depressed, or we may be sad, we may be having a despair situation or circumstance, but we have to trust in that righteousness, and that is going to result in our happiness. Let I and I chant glad songs, not sad songs, glad songs, happy songs. Protect I and I from, any wrong sadness. And that protection is on those that love righteousness. Those who love goodness and mercy and righteousness are protected and are happy because of that goodness and mercy and righteousness. So we give thanks for the psalm today, and we give thanks for the word guidance. We give thanks for our verse today coming from Ephesians 5:1, Psalm 5:11. We have a lot of ones going on in our numerology here. Even Isaiah 58:11, verse 11. So we have verse 1 in Psalm 5. Verse 11. That's 11, right? Verse 11 in Psalm 5, verse 1 in Ephesians 5, and verse 11 in Isaiah 58. So we have a lot of ones happening, and this is the full moon. You're coming into the fullness of knowledge of the Most High and the relationship that you are building. That's what this chant a psalm is building our relationship with the Most High. And I would even love to have other people come on the live with me and share their testimony of the Most High in their lives. So we may bridge out into that platform where I can actually have folks come on live with me. Let me see. I can start a poll right here. Are you glad? Are you glad in your life with your relationship to God. Okay, so that's the poll. And being glad is can come in different ways. So we look at the idea of what makes you glad, what makes you happy, right? And that relationship with people makes you happy. You know, you can feel them, see them, lay with them and all that. However, when they're gone and they're not there, what relationship do you have? You still have one. It may be with yourself, but yourself is powerful because that self inside of you gives you the strength. So 100%, are you glad in your life with your relationship to God? Yes. Thank you for sharing your comments about that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining Chant Day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Remember, Chant Day. Always stay tuned. I'm going to be live doing a painting. Yeah, so you can return again, subscribe, like this video, and all that. Have a blessed day, everyone. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thanks for joining Chant Day. Have a blessed day, everyone.